G'day everyone. In today's video, I want to share with you a roadmap for how to guarantee that you will always be unhappy in life. And in order to share this, I'll first show you a clip from the out-of-the-box online course by the shaman Huda Iyande.
Because we live in a multiverse of infinite possibilities. We can only capture little fragments of this infinite according to our focus, and we configure that inside of our minds, creating this construction of what we call reality. But at the end, it is just a construction.
And I think that this point perfectly encapsulates the ways that we sabotage our own happiness. And to explain this, I'm going to share 10 ways that all of us very often do this. The first is that we set very unrealistic expectations for ourselves. It often comes in our career where no matter which way we look, there is always someone moving faster than us, that's more ambitious, that's willing to work harder than us. We never feel like we're getting ahead quickly enough. It comes with our own bodies. I mean, the reality is that none of us have a perfect body. We've all got some kind of flaw that usually we're the one who's acutely aware of, that other people aren't even thinking about when they look at us. We might go to the gym and want to start to get our bodies in shape. But I know in my case, as soon as I start going to the gym and I start seeing all of these really buff guys around me, I start to feel pretty bad about myself, and then I start setting these really unrealistic expectations, like I'm going to end up with this huge physique and work myself to the bone, and I just keep on failing at this task, and it's really hard. The other way we often set these unrealistic expectations is in our relationships. And again, for me, one of my patterns from the past is that I've often idealized the perfect relationship or the perfect partner. I set these unrealistic expectations for my first dates where I hope that it's going to be some sort of beautiful princess that's coming along and is going to totally change my life and allow me to finally fall in love. And of course, people are always going to fail when held up against these unrealistic standards. I think that if you want to guarantee that you're going to be unhappy in life, absolutely keep on setting really unrealistic expectations for yourself in all parts of your life. The next thing to do is related to the first, and that is to always compare yourself to others. So whichever way you're going in life, make sure that you're really aware of other people that are trying to do similar things. You might be an entrepreneur like me, trying to build businesses, and yeah, I'm definitely pretty happy with how things have gone, but absolutely there are people who are way more successful than me. I was lucky enough to visit Richard Branson on his private island once. I was invited as part of a group of entrepreneurs, and it was actually a really terrible experience for me, in that I just came up against all of these people who were just so much more successful than me, and then I wanted to be like Richard Branson as well, and that's just a really unrealistic expectation to set for myself. And comparing myself meant I could never really enjoy the journey. It happens in all facets of life. One of the best ways to really embrace comparing yourself to others is to open Instagram and just start scrolling around and look at everyone's perfect lives. We all share the great things that are going on. It's obviously important that we fight against this and that we learn to stop comparing ourselves to others, but if you want to guarantee that you're going to be unhappy in life, absolutely keep on comparing yourself to other people, especially the successful people in whichever ways that you're trying to be successful yourself. The next thing to do is to dwell on your past mistakes. That's a guaranteed way to always be unhappy, because the reality is that no one's lives are perfect. We all make mistakes. Could be in relationships. I know in my life, I often dwell on my past mistakes, especially in my relationships. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know I've shared a series of videos about being single. I'm in my 40s. I often wonder what life would be like if I could finally settle down and be in a really nice relationship. So I often think about the girls that have come and gone who I probably could have done a better job with and actually built something with, and I can easily end up dwelling on those failed relationships. But of course, that's all passed me by. I can't recover the past. I can't make good on things that have happened. All I can do is embrace this current reality, this present moment, show up to these dates with a little more compassion to myself, to others, without having such unrealistic expectations. And then, of course, that gives me a much better chance of these relationships starting to develop. But if you want to stop those really good opportunities in your life from coming about, The best way to do it is to start dwelling on your past mistakes. That's the guaranteed way to make sure that bad things keep on happening to you. And the fourth way is to never express your true feelings, because the reality is that expressing your true feelings is a very difficult thing to do. It requires you to have courage, to be honest with yourself, to often put yourself out there, and to risk being rejected. Expressing your true feelings can happen in all parts of life, but often it's in our relationships. And very often, we get the feeling that we just want things to stay the same. We want to live in the comfort zone. We don't really want to actually take risks in life. So if you want to guarantee that those good things just don't come to you, it's best to stay in your comfort zone, to actually not express those true feelings, to even not bother going down the path of trying to figure out what they could be. The fifth way to guarantee being unhappy in life is to ignore your body's instinct and wisdom. This I can experience when it comes to burnout in the workplace. I used to be a management consultant. I was also doing a PhD. I was an academic for a while, and in all of these professions, it's very easy to burn yourself out because we've got these unrealistic expectations. We have a lot of ambition. We're comparing ourselves to others, and we start fighting against ourselves to really push ourselves to the limit, especially the management consulting profession. They really encourage you to have very late nights, to work yourself to the bone, to not get too much sleep. This is the best way to guarantee that you'll always be unhappy, is to keep on pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion, fighting to achieve goals that may not even be the goals that are going to make you happy in life. So if you want to figure out that roadmap to being unhappy, go down that path of burnout and keep on pushing yourself to the very brink. The sixth way is to chase external validation. And of course, in Out of the Box, Huda Yande shows us how to build a pathway within to get to know ourselves at a deeper level so that we get our validation from internal sources. That is a wonderful way to live life. But if you're going to follow this roadmap to guarantee that you're going to be unhappy in life, it's very important to get your validation from external sources. You can post on Instagram and start to look at the quality of your postings based on the amount of likes or shares that you're getting. You can be in a relationship where you get your sense of happiness when your partner approves of what you're doing rather than actually doing the work to generate that yourself. You can live a life where you care so much what your parents think of you and your own life choices, and you really feel much more relaxed when you get their validation, rather than having the courage to figure out what path is truly yours and to walk these steps in life based on what's going to make you truly happy. Because of course, in this video, we're going down the pathways to guarantee that we're actually not going to be happy in life. The seventh way is to resist change at all costs. So that means that if you're in a job that you don't really like, that's not really going to take you places that you want to get to in life, then avoid the pain of quitting that job and trying to find something new, because you might actually fail at trying to get that new job. Instead, it's better to stay in that current job because the alternative could be a lot worse. Of course, one of the great ways to be happy is to actually quit that job and to find new opportunities and to make sacrifices along the way. But this video is a guide to how to be unhappy in life. So the best way is to resist change at all costs. Another great example of this is in our relationships. I think that very often we can end up in a relationship where we're maybe not being treated so well, where we don't feel so happy, maybe our self-esteem's taking a hit in the relationship, but we're often really scared to make a change in that relationship, to quit the relationship. We feel like quitters. We feel like we're going to be hurting someone else. So to guarantee that you're going to be unhappy, it's important to stay in those relationships where you're stagnating, where you're feeling unhappy, and your sense of self-worth is taking a hit. That will keep you in this place of unhappiness better than almost anything. The eighth way to always stay unhappy is to neglect self-care and personal growth. So very importantly, your friends in life, your colleagues at work, your partners, it's very important to always put their needs before your own. And the other thing to do is to avoid self-reflection at all costs about whatever life lessons that you're experiencing. These are guaranteed ways to keep you unhappy. Of course, if actually you're going to not follow the advice in this video and you do want to be happy, It's very important to stand up for yourself, to assert your boundaries, and to go through self-reflection and try to integrate a lot of lessons in life. So it really depends what you want to do, but this video is about how to guarantee that you will always be unhappy. The ninth way is to live in the past or the future. So if you want to guarantee yourself to always be unhappy, you have to avoid the present reality at all costs. You need to live in the past. That could mean always celebrating your accomplishments from the past and defining who you are based on what's happened previously. It could mean focusing on all of the tragedies that have happened, connecting with your friends based on a shared sense of tragedy, feeling like a victim of your past circumstances, and building a sense of identity based on all these things that have happened. That's guaranteed to keep you unhappy. Or you might want to live in the future, keep on visualizing a different future for yourself. I spoke about it before. This is something that I very often do, and it's a struggle not to do it, but I visualize the perfect relationship for myself. So I imagine the perfect partner rather than living in my current reality and meeting new people and just celebrating these imperfect individuals that I meet. I keep on comparing these people to this vision of perfection that only exists in my mind. Huda Iande, in the Out of the Box online course, refers to it as mental masturbation, when we're always living in the future. And he says that it's one of the most important things we need to do, to identify the concepts that we're creating that end up existing in a future state and shattering those concepts so that we can fully immerse ourselves in our present reality.
Are you waiting till the moment your life changes so you can start really enjoying life, you start being happy, you start living a better life? Because if you are waiting for these perfect conditions, let me tell you something. This reality won't come. Even if you come to a point of achieving what you think will bring you happiness, when you get there, your imagination will already be full of new dreams.
The 10th thing to do is to believe everything that your inner critic tells you. So you really are not good enough. You are absolutely not doing a good enough job in the workplace. Your relationships aren't going well enough. You know that voice that keeps on telling you these things? Listen to it at all costs. It's got a lot of wisdom. Of course, again, I'm being a little bit facetious. So what I've been sharing is a roadmap for how to remain unhappy in life. But of course, that's not the deeper point of this video. The deeper point is that happiness in life is something that's available to us, but it can only come when we go on a deeper exploration of what's actually existing in our subconscious. What are the beliefs that are embedded deep within us? What are the habits existing deep within, operating under the surface, that result in a whole range of downstream consequences in our lives? This is why I love the Out of the Box online course. It contains a number of self-exploration quests that help us to learn what's actually operating beneath the surface, so that from that place, a deeper and more profound sense of self-knowledge, we can start to reformulate these beliefs and principles and ultimately reformulate our reality. If you'd like to learn more about Huda Iande's work, you can do so through a free masterclass that goes for a little bit over 1 hour. It's called Free Your Mind. This is where Huda shows you a number of very powerful tools that will help you to rewrite your own life story. These free masterclasses on the vessel we've produced to be very high quality, very transformative, completely free. You can check it out via the link in the description below. The people that attend the Free Your Mind Masterclass will then get a special offer to join Out of the Box, but you can still watch the masterclass for free. I've participated in helping to produce the Out of the Box online course. It's all by Huda Iande, but I'm a co-creator of the vessel, the platform where it resides. So I do encourage you to check it out. I hope that these 10 principles on how to remain unhappy in life have been useful to you. If you appreciate the advice that I've shared, You might also like another video I've created recently sharing 7 life lessons that I've learned in my 40s that I wish I knew sooner. It's showing just here. And I also did another video recently exploring this myth of why we're all trying to chase happiness so aggressively in life, and that's showing just here.